Hey all you heroes out there, I'm your professional protagonist, this is Hell Yeah Gaming, and hey, we had the Switch 2 Nintendo Direct. Just gotta dive right on into things here. I got a lot of stuff to talk about. They packed so much stuff in there. It happened on my drive to work. Here I am just trying to get all of my thoughts out on my lunch break in the car. Hey, let's get going into it. Okay, so first thing, we finally know what the C button is. With all of those leaks out there, we have known about a C button for a long time. No idea what it was. It stands for chat, game chat. Okay, Nintendo Switch 2 local integrated game chat functionality, including screen sharing. You don't have to be on the same game. You just connect with people either playing the same game together or just with friends, share each other. That's actually really cool. I really like that. And then we have the camera accessory as well. Okay, I wonder how much that's going to end up costing. That could be pretty cool. Do wish, or I hope, and though I doubt, that it would have functionality with third-party cameras. That you just like plug in a webcam or something into that top USB port. But I doubt it. Nintendo usually wants you to stick with their own products, keep everything in-house. But if that's cool, that would be amazing. Game share. Okay, so local multiplayer with other systems. Only one game copy is required, for limited game library. That's really cool. Hey, that's like what Hazelight Studios does with, It Takes Two and Split Fiction and whatnot. Just one, where the co-op experience is so integral that only one game copy is necessary, and you can share together amongst each other. That's actually really cool. I like that. Okay, some quick specs. So most of this stuff we are known for a long time because of the various leaks. To do screen size nearly 2 times as big in 1080p, supports up to 120 frames per second, HDR display. I mean, that's all great. We are pushing the Switch hardware further in what it can support. That's never been my really focus. I don't think we need to have the best graphics and whatnot, but if we can improve on things, then why not? My biggest thing, the magnetic Joy-Cons is going to be beautiful. Yes, magnetic Joy-Cons stuck on there rather than the slide up and down. Mine have long since gotten loose and then disconnect during gameplay while I'm in handheld mode. It sucks. Magnetic is going to be fantastic. The inside L and R, the SL and SR buttons being bigger, yes, who the heck was who was pushing those buttons before? So I don't know. Built-in microphone, cool. Nice to have just kind of those in-house built-in features. The Joy-Cons having mouse controls is going to improve and create so much functionality. There's so many things that you can do with that. It is crazy. And Nintendo's exactly the kind of company that would make something like this that would lead to all sorts of creative application. We'll see what other studios can do to build upon that, to implement it, but I think that there is so much that can happen there, apart from just porting over primarily PC games. We have Civ 7 was announced as being ported over there with the Joy-Con mouse functionality. Porting PC games, great. That's super cool. Let's see what else they can come up with, what else can be done. I think they could do some really cool things. The stand, yes, it's so good. USB on the top and bottom, always good to have more USB ports. 8 times the internal storage, 256 gigabytes. Fantastic. Speaking of fan, built-in fan with the dock to keep it seems like that's something that they probably implemented because they're pushing Switch hardware as hard as they can. So that was probably kind of added as a sort of a measure, a safety measure for that. I doubt that they would have put the dock fan in there if it wasn't like kind of necessary, but it's good that we know things are getting kind of pushed forward. SD cards not compatible, requires an express SD card if you want to add additional storage. Okay, so I don't know if this is something that is purely a like the technology interface, like if the technology just cannot interact together, is the way that they are presenting it. The express SD card is required for the faster processing speeds for whatever information is on the SD card and communicating between the card and the switch to maintain the same processing for anything that would be found native on the Switch 2. I really could not say if a regular SD card should be able to do that, and they just removed the functionality to be able to sell more expensive SD cards. I wouldn't put it past them, but I don't know enough about the technology to really say anything about that. Okay, June 5th. It's coming June 5th. That is actually significantly closer than I anticipated. Like, oh my God. I thought that it was maybe not necessarily a holiday launch, but like probably like closer to fall. But June 5th even, like boom, straight out of the gate, just before summer officially starts, or right at summer rather. Freaking 10 days before Father's Day. Is because that's June 15th this year. I'm going to talk to everybody in my life and be like, hey, Father's Day this year, how about instead of everybody getting individual things, why don't you all come together, all pool it together for Switch 2 for me? Because that's going to be an issue, and we'll get there. Okay, so we know that there's going to be Switch 2 upgrade packs, a Switch 2 edition for various games to have increased bells and whistles and functionality. Mario Party Jamboree. They're going to include having new mini games, new functionality with the Switch 2 camera. Tears of the Kingdom, kind of like a smartphone app where you got Siri telling you where to go on the map and create QR codes for your different builds to send to people. That's kind of cute, but also I don't think that anybody needs to pay an additional upgrade for that, especially since Tears of the Kingdom was already $10 more than any other Switch game. Metroid Prime 4, Kirby the Forgotten Land, a whole new campaign in there. That's pretty cool. Pokemon Legends ZA gonna have some other stuff. Nifty. Like, some of these I can see the increased upgrade pack if you have the existing Switch game, but some of these others I cannot justify that. Bunch of games coming to the Switch 2, some at launch, a bunch of these at launch, some of them not. We got Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, Hades 2 coming, Street Fighter 6, Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion, like Daemon instead of Deus, so instead of God from the Machine, it's Demon from the Machine. I enjoyed that trailer. It was very anime. And speaking of Hazelight from a few minutes ago, Split Fiction coming into Switch 2. That's really cool. Hey, Joseph Ferris, you're a real one. You're one of the absolute best people in the industry right now. Keep it up, everything that you do, and don't take any of the crap, and keep dishing it out. We got Tony Hawk 3 and 4 collection, which is kind of like, Hitman World of Assassination coming, okay. They announced Project 007, just as a quick little teaser. Hey, 007, it was a huge impact on me growing up. Like, my family is a huge James Bond family. We were a big James Bond family. So It'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. I recognize that there's a lot of problematic aspects to it these days, especially the novels. Ian Fleming, whoa. But you know, some things you can look past, and a lot of that is toned down for sure. Okay, we got yeah, Bravely Default Flying Fairy remaster. A Bravely Default, you know, maybe something that I should try to look into, but man, JRPGs just take so much time investment. I know I've said it a million times. Deltarune chapters 1 through 4, 3 and 4 getting released together. That's like, what? Huge. Okay. On launch day. Crazy. All right, now here's one I'm gonna probably have more to talk about, like, separately. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. So one of the major points of contention with Tears of the Kingdom was a lot of people were like, this is not a story that should be told in flashbacks. The real story here is happening with Zelda in the past. Why aren't we getting that story? Shouldn't we be able to play that story? Well, now apparently we are. Except then the big issue becomes like, hey, just like Age of Calamity, they said that it was going to be the story of the past, and then it became a completely different thing where, you know, it involved time travel from a little guardian toy and went in a completely different direction. So like, is that going to be the case here? Well, not too long after the direct, they did release a statement, and in there included that it was canon. Well, we'll see, because I'm pretty sure in advertising material they were saying Age of Calamity was canon as well. But then even before introducing the retcon aspects of the time travel and everything, there were still aspects of it that were in direct contradiction to Breath of the Wild's established story. Such as, you know, you discover the Master Sword in that game for the first time, but in the Breath of the Wild backstory, Link had pulled the Master Sword from the pedestal when he was still a child. So, you know, a bunch of other stuff. We'll see how much this canon claim holds up. But either way, I'm sure it will be a fun time. You know, the Hyrule Warriors games are always entertaining, if nothing else. Borderlands 4 is coming eventually sometime. Bunch of other games coming on. Cyberpunk 2077, okay. Final Fantasy VII Remake. And then, I swear, I heard a million voices all crying out, Hollow Knight Silk Song. And it definitively stated 2025. That's, as far as I'm aware, that's the first Silk Song news that has come out in quite some time. And that studio is, you know, unnaturally quiet about their development. I am not a Hollow Knight fan myself. I did purchase the game and then played like an hour or two of it and didn't get any further because there was just a lot going on at that time, and then I set it down. I'll probably get back to it at some point. But it was really cool. And I'm very happy for people. Now, of course, the big one for me is the Duskbloods. From Software really looked at Sony and said, okay, so you're not letting us do anything on Bloodborne. You're not doing anything with Bloodborne. All right, well, screw you. We're going to Nintendo to make an exclusive that's a spiritual successor. That's amazing. I love it. If nothing else, I would get a Switch 2 just for the Duskbloods, because, oh my god, there is so much to even look into here. And of course, I've been very vocal about how much I love Bloodborne. And yeah, it kind of throws some of my plans into, not in like up in the air, but like it kind of throws a little bit of a wrench in there, just because the video I'm scripting right now was the first in my Let's Make a Game series, but where I'm going into Let's Make a Souls-like. So I'll see it. Yeah, it's just the timing of that is kind of funny. DK Bonanza, not spelled like a banana, of course, because why wouldn't it? It's Donkey Kong. That looks really fun. Donkey Kong has needed some new love. I'm not psyched about the new character model. That looks not the best to me. Classic rare design is the best, and things do need room to change, room to grow. But I'm just not a fan of his face model here. But the gameplay looks really fun. All of the like digging and mining aspects, I think, add into the Donkey Kong platforming style really well. He's just plowing through so much with his ungodly simian strength. It's pretty awesome. I love DK. He is my favorite character in the greater Mario mythos. Then we have the Nintendo GameCube Online functionality. So let's see, it's going to be launching with Wind Waker, not Wind Waker HD remaster, but original Wind Waker. Awesome, great too. Soul Calibur 2, not what I would have expected, but hey, Soul Calibur 2 came out with a different guest character for each platform it was on, and Link was a shoo-in for the Nintendo Soul Calibur 2 launch, so that's really cool. Then we had Darth Vader and Yoda for the PlayStation and Xbox ones, if I remember correctly, because this is off the top of my head. Correct me if I'm wrong. Soul Calibur, really, that's cool. Not what I would have expected. Speaking of things I wouldn't have expected, F-Zero GX, and we got online racing functionality added into it there too. That's pretty freaking cool. F-Zero fans, you have been hurting for far longer than pretty much any other game franchise fan out there. So hats off to you. You got something. Hopefully these aren't just the scraps that you have to survive on for the rest of time, and that this is a gateway to something more. But you got something, and I'm happy for you. More to be added over time, because for some reason the online console services, they never have, like, I do not understand how it takes so much time and effort to port these to their online console services. I really feel like these should be like pretty easy, but again, I don't know the technology. Maybe I'm talking way out of my ass here, but also coming are going to be Mario Sunshine. Great. Fire Emblem Path to Radiance, that's going to be pretty good, especially for how Fire Emblem got way bigger in the West after 3 houses. There's going to be a much bigger audience now than there was back when this released. Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, Mario Strikers. I hate sports games, don't care. Chibi Robo, it's got a good it's got a good cult following that I'm sure people are happy there. Original Luigi's Mansion, hell yeah, great. Pokemon Coliseum, about the same level there. We'll see what else they end up adding. Personally, I'm hoping my favorite Mario Party, was it 4 or 5? Oh my god, I can't remember now. But now we got to talk about something a little more serious, which is the pricing that we have now discovered. They didn't say anything about this in the Direct itself. That was in, on the website and in journal material that was coming out concurrently or directly after the Direct. So the Switch 2 reportedly is going to be $450 US. Now, the original Switch was $300. That's a very hefty increase. I definitely would have expected an increase, especially since it was such a cheap system from the get-go. But for 150 up there, that's oof. Okay, now we're getting into starting to get into PS5 levels of expensive for the Switch 2, which is not great. But then you start looking at the prices that they're putting out for these games right now, which are ranging from $70, which is what they did Tears of the Kingdom, already $10 more than standard game prices, up to as far as $90 I've seen, which is obscene. And I don't know if this has to do with the current ongoing tariff trade war because of the psycho dictator in the White House right now. I think that it probably has an impact, if not being the biggest impact. But it's certainly not the only one, because, as stated before, Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo was already clearly putting out the feelers, testing the waters with more expensive games with Tears of the Kingdom before. And after seeing how many people bought it up without too much of an issue, they're probably like, yeah, we can go forward with this. Where we're getting the Switch 2 edition upgrade packs, you know, I already mentioned, like, I'm not excited about that, especially with Tears of the Kingdom, because it was already more expensive. Then we have the Donkey Kong Bonanzas coming in at $80. Like, I cannot see a justification for that. Now, on the one hand, let's be real. Video games as a product have not risen in price from about the $60 range since like the 80s or 90s. They've been at that price reliably for decades, which is insane considering the inflation that has hit in literally every single other aspect of life. But on the other hand, the industry has grown so much and sales have grown exponentially that they haven't needed to increase prices. So why do it now? Why at this point? And I'm certainly not a specialist. I'm not an expert. I couldn't say. But Nintendo has always been the company that has a bit of an oxymoron in how they present themselves. Like as far as like as far as like their PR image kind of goes, they've always been like we're the family friendly company. We are the approachable one, that we're casual with everybody. But then from a business and product perspective, they've always put themselves as, you know, we are the high quality, the elites. You pay for what you get, because that Nintendo seal of quality means that you are getting the best you could be getting. And sometimes, you know, those work perfectly hand in hand together, and sometimes they seem to clash pretty hard. Right now, I'm not a fan of where that's going. I feel like they're going to be able to justify just about anything they want here at this point, and I'm not liking that. I am, however, hoping that this is going to wake a lot of people up to, you mean politics can actually affect me and the things I care about? Especially if this does have to do with that whole situation. Because, and let's be real, we are seeing the price increases in other areas. You know, we're in the UK and greater European region, the prices are up as well. I haven't checked to see if prices are also going up locally in Japan, but what I do know is, hey, when you have to increase prices in one area, very often what companies will do is just increase prices across the board. One, to help cut down on scalpers, so people don't buy the cheaper ones in one region in order to spread them around at prices elsewhere. And then also, two, just because, you know, if they're paying as much, I can charge you as much to justify it, get more profit out of it. You know, yay, capitalism. That's the world we've created. Yay. So I don't know. I'm super excited for the system itself. I'm super excited for so much that they're doing with it. And I mean, the Dusk Bloods is something I feel like I need in my heart of souls, my soul of hearts. But maybe and I doubt it would ever end up happening, but maybe, you know, a mass protest, a mass strike of, you know, not strike, oh my god, what am I thinking, the word, everybody agreeing not to buy, word escaping brain right now, boycott, that's it. Maybe, like, you know, a mass boycott of Nintendo products will get them to see more reason. But that's just where I'm at. It's a very difficult situation, because I feel like I can see a lot of the justifications but I don't agree with or like it. And I think that they can easily get away with maintaining the same model, 100%. But that's where I'm at this time. This is, you know, a lot of this is all off the top of my head, off the cuff. Like, I just got on lunch. I haven't been able to sit down and like super duper research things, but like the presentation itself, I loved it. The games they announced going through, I loved them. They have a huge variety. A lot of them are geared towards me. A lot of them I know are going to be very well received and a lot of people enjoy. The extra features, I'm happy with. Just, there's a huge issue with the pricing and the product modeling going on here that something needs to happen with. But that's all I got for you. Let me know what you thought of the Switch 2 announcements in the comments below. I will have more videos, most likely going in depth on some of these, a lot more. Like, I'm definitely going to be doing Duskblood's like deeper analysis in that trailer for sure. But hey, June 5th, man, June 5th it's coming. It's coming. If we can, I doubt we can make an impact before then to get Nintendo to change their minds on some of this stuff, but maybe we can. Be loud. Get your voice out there and let them know that the inexcusable practices are inexcusable. Until then, hey, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope that this presentation was enough to get you to just shout out a great big hell yeah!